is it worth it to become an entrepreneur?
Walmart took a sample order from him.
Yes,
right, which was like 50 containers.
Yeah.
Well, the rest of the story is,
if you keep in the back of your mind where you're trying to get to, what you're trying to accomplish, then it will be worth it, and it'll be easier for you to do it because. Hi, Gummy. Welcome to another episode of Start It or Scrap It.
Oh, this is going to be an exciting
I'm
episode.
your host, Michael. I'll be your NPR host for this week.
Yeah.
You ever listen to NPR?
Yeah.
It's good stuff. It really is good stuff. But
So-
it's real funny how a lot of people talk like that, though.
Content is good, but presentation is everything.
Yes, it is.
Right?
Yeah, it is.
Oh, and thank you to our future sponsor.
Our future sponsor. I mean, if they haven't gotten the message by now,
I
what
know.
more do we have to do?
I'm gonna keep doing it. I don't care. I actually, by the way, I really love this company. Like,
yeah. What is it about them you love?
So I love the fact that I watched an interview with a guy that founded it or is running it, the CEO, whatever it is. And this was back a few years ago, like when prices were going up on everything, right? Like when did that start? Like 3 years ago?
Yeah, about that.
And he flat out said, he's like, right now we are in a position where we own all of our equipment outright. It's in great condition. We don't have to worry about replacing any of it. He's like, my cost of ingredients has gone up slightly. He's like, but I'm going to hold the consumer price for as long as I can because we are more likely to be able to take the hit than our customers. And I was like, and like, it was genuine, right? Like he said it like he genuinely cared. And I'm like, how often does a CEO genuinely care about the customers?
Mr. Mom.
Mr. Mom.
You remember Mr. Mom?
Mm-hmm.
That's what happened at the end with the
Right.
tuna.
Yeah.
But we're going to keep the prices down till we get through this economic hardship, right?
But yeah, so
But no, in reality, I don't know. I don't see that very often.
I don't, right? So I thought it was kind of cool just to hear that interview with him. And I was like, man, so I don't drink a lot of like iced teas and stuff, but this one I love, and I love their green tea one.
Okay, so we'll keep we'll keep promoting them
We
without
will.
the sponsorship. Then
We will, just because
they're a good company.
I want to do it just because I like the company.
Yeah.
Right? Like that's
Right.
Yeah.
Until we get a cease and desist from their lawyers.
Correct. But it's not like we're saying bad stuff. Like we're saying their stuff is good.
Yeah, doesn't matter sometimes.
Well, yeah.
Sometimes it doesn't matter.
Maybe they don't like our content.
Maybe they don't like our content. We'll get back to the NPR for a minute.
Mm-hmm.
So anyway, Gummy, tell me about your week.
Yeah. Tell me about the phone call you got from the attorney with the cease and desist.
Right.
Well,
Oh, so I heard something interesting happened. I heard that in one of the clips we posted, we got a comment about somebody
did.
having a question about their business.
so it was the one where we were talking about like business ideas and how people don't know whether or not it's a good idea or not. Right. So I had a guy here that said, I wanted to start a one-man biz, just answering phones for busy roofers, plumbers, lawyers, real estate agents, etc. I'm a great speaker, booker, and closer. I was told this was stupid. Your thoughts?
Why was it stupid?
That's what I said. I'm
There's
like,
hundreds of companies out there that do answering services.
yes. And
And they make a lot of money.
yeah, but so there's answering services.
But he's also closing deals.
Correct.
Yeah.
And I'm like, you have no idea what that's worth to a lot of these guys. Like, especially like, let's take a roofer, for example, right? So you can now get access to software that will literally, you can punch in an address.
Yeah.
The software will go to Google Earth. It'll scan the top of the house and it'll give you what the square footage of the house is.
Yep.
You can plug in the prices of your shingles, whatever, your labor, and it spits out, here's the price to do this roof. If you have a closer on the phone that's talking to someone that can close that deal for you while you're putting on another roof, that's priceless.
Why is this a stupid idea? I don't get that.
I'm going to say that he asked the wrong people.
Maybe.
Right.
Well, no, that's a certainty.
That's a certainty, right? And he literally, so I was going to tell you, the guy sent me an email.
Yeah.
I saw it this morning. I got to get
Okay.
back to him. But he was like, how would I go about starting this? Right. And so now
Yeah.
I'm going to go back
That's
later
great.
today and send him one of our episodes. No,
Here, watch this.
no, like this is one of those businesses that's going to be built on personal relationships, right? Because
Oh yeah.
if he's going to be answering the phones for a local roofer, whatever, that person wants to trust him, at least to start with, especially if he's actually on the phone closing deals, right? So my advice would first of all be learn about whatever industry it is that you want to answer the phones for. If you want to do it, let's start with an industry. Start with roofers, for example. Right. So get to know what are the objections that roofers normally get. What are some of the things that homeowners are concerned about when it comes to hiring one? And you could even do like plumbers and stuff, but it's often hard to quote a plumbing job over the phone unless it's like, hey, I need a toilet replaced or like my sink's leaking. Okay, we can send someone out, right? But yeah, these answering services, especially if it's personal, where you're getting to know the owners and you can talk on behalf of the company, because most of these answering services are like, oh, can I take a message and I'll have them call you back?
Now, what about the other side? They're having problems, right? You don't want to field problems on the phone like that, right? You just say, we'll have someone call you.
Well, do you? Like
I don't know.
If your toilet is leaking and you call someone, is what you want to hear on the other end going, oh, there's no one here to help you right now, but
no, that's not what I'm saying at all. No, what I'm saying is, okay, someone's going to call you back in a couple of minutes. Like, well, the plumber, he'll call you, he'll get on the phone with you. I don't know that you want to be the one on the phone with the person because you're not the plumber, right? You don't want to be the one on the phone with the person telling them what to do while their toilet is leaking.
Why not?
Liability issues.
Go shut off your water and we'll send out the plumber. He'll be there in
Okay, so there's certain triage things you could do.
Correct.
Okay.
Right? Like there are certain things you can do. Like you can always tell someone, if it's leaking, stop using it.
My
shut
electrical
off your
box
water.
is on fire. Okay. Number one, get out of the house.
Yeah, correct, right?
Grab the cat and get out.
Yeah, call the fire department. Right? But like there's a lot of these basic triage problems that you could solve on the phone if you're willing to do it, right? Where you're almost working as like I don't even want to call this an answering service anymore. This is more like an administrative assistant type thing.
Oh, it really is. Oh,
and
absolutely.
salesperson at the same time. And I'm like, I think it's brilliant. Like I know companies right now that could use this.
How many people though don't know where their water shutoff is? In fact, it's way more that don't know where their water shutoff is than do
know. Now, fortunately, like if it's the water main, that's one thing, right?
But if the water shutoff for the toilet, yeah, just
correct. There's shutoffs almost individually
it's
for
leaking behind it.
Correct.
Then you have a bigger problem.
Then there's nothing the guy on the phone's going to be able to help you with, other than say, hey, you may want to call the public adjuster as well as the plumber, right? But yeah, I think this is a brilliant idea, and I think the way to get this started is by going out and having actual conversation with some plumbers, with some roofers, with some electricians, and finding out like when people call you, are they looking for an estimate over the phone or are they just looking for some basic questions answered? And then you go out and evaluate it.
Right.
Because if you can book the appointment, like once you're in somebody's house, you're very likely to close the deal. It's the matter of, can you get the person in there?
Yeah, sure.
Right. And so I don't know why someone would tell them it's stupid.
I don't either. Why would that be a stupid idea? That's a great business to have.
Yeah, especially like if you go if you
you know what your capital cost is to start up? Zero.
Well, so
minimal.
Correct. It's minimal, right? Like the thing is, you could do something as simple as set up a CRM system with custom phone numbers, right? So all the different phone numbers forward to a specific phone.
Yep.
You just have to be careful that, you know, what are you going to do if two people call at the same time and you're a one-man show, right? Now the answering service isn't answering the phone. Mm. So now you need to make sure that, you know, worst case scenario, it flows back to the owner, right? Or flows back to them. Or do you let the message sit with you and then you reply to it? So like there's things you got to figure out and things you would have to talk to.
Yeah.
But I love this idea.
Well, like I don't know why someone would tell them it's stupid.
I love having an answering service that goes above and beyond and sets the appointment for me to show up, right? Get it on my calendar, get the confirmation, And now I'm either showing up to fix a problem or to close the deal.
So this
Right?
guy's going to call you back? Looks like you have a meeting.
He emailed me, so I'm going to email him back. And
yeah, that's a new client for you. That's fantastic.
oh, it might be, but
Well, it should be.
If nothing else, I just want to help the guy get started.
Yeah.
Right? Like point him in the right direction.
Or scrap it.
And tell him,
See what I did there?
I see. But no, I like stuff like this.
Oh, yeah.
Because how many times have I said, find a problem, identify a problem, and make it a business, right? This is a very clear-cut problem. There are solopreneurs, water treatment companies, roofers, all kinds of stuff that don't have time during jobs to answer the phones, right? And if they were able to just push a button and then now all their calls get redirected to someone else, and he knows that there's someone there that'll be able to answer basic questions and not just take a message, that's huge.
Yeah. Because what was the number? You quoted this a while ago. If you can close the deal in the first, you'll have a better chance of closing the deal in the first phone call than if you got to call them back or something like that.
If you get back to the customer within 15 minutes.
Oh, that's what it is. 15 minutes.
Or if you answer your phone, you have an 80% chance of closing on that deal.
Yeah.
Right?
Think about that.
It's huge.
Because if you're the plumber and you're in the middle of a 2-hour job and you can't get back to the person, you're losing that deal.
Correct. They're gonna click on the next search result. Right. Whoever answers the phone when your toilet's leaking,
that's the business.
That's the one that's gonna get to show up.
Absolutely. So, all right. Well, let us know how that goes. Right. Let us know what this guy decides, and if he becomes a client, and if he starts doing this, that'd be.
I sure hope he does.
I hope he does too. That'd be kind of cool. All right. So, moving on to Reddit. You familiar with Reddit?
I've heard about it once or twice.
It's an interesting place. It's a very deep rabbit hole. I'll tell you that.
It is a rabbit hole.
It's a very deep rabbit hole. Not nearly as bad as 4chan, but it's a rabbit hole.
Can I tell you something absolutely horrendous?
Absolutely.
And
this is just between us, though, right?
It's just between you and me. So this is going to date the episode, right? But I don't really care. So
yesterday was April Fool's, so I'm hoping half of these things on here aren't April jokes.
Fools, yes. So Google just released an update. So during an update, search results get scrambled drastically, right? Yep. Like, do you know what website is now getting better results and getting prioritized? Yelp.
Sorry.
I'm like, Yelp.
I don't like Yelp.
I hate Yelp. I hate Yelp with a passion, right? But then I always remember the fact that Yelp is really strong out west. So there's probably some engineer sitting in a California office going, well, I always get great results from Yelp, right? Like, while the rest of the country hates it.
Right.
So that's just my theory. I hope I'm not offending some engineer at Google that's going to de-rank our sites now. But like, Google, please stop showing Yelp. It's useless. And it's like, it's as close to extortion as you can get, like legal extortion. Personally, that's my opinion.
That's your opinion.
Stay away from Yelp. If you're a business owner, stay away from Yelp. I don't care how much they get prioritized.
Yeah, I'm not a fan either.
You can outrank them.
My problem is, and this is just from experience, my problem has been that I go on Yelp. When I first started my law practice, I went on Yelp and I set up my business profile. Okay, great. I would get calls 4 or 5 times a week from Yelp. Buy this, buy that, buy this, buy that.
That's the model.
I'm okay. Actually, no, at first I did. I think I spent like $300 a month with them for about 9 months and nothing happened. Right. Absolutely nothing happened. So then I started, it may have been you or somebody started telling me, hey, go get your customers to leave more reviews. Here's how you do it. Mm-hmm. So I contacted a few clients. I said, hey, would you mind going on Yelp and leaving a review for me? And they're like, oh, yeah, of course, 5-star review. Yep. So I had like 6 clients in the span of a week leave 5-star reviews, and they all got suppressed.
Yes.
And I was still paying for Yelp at the time. And I called the guy out, and I'm like, why am I? Oh, because we don't believe they're real reviews. If they all got left at the same time, they must not be real. I'm like, so you want my clients to come and leave reviews, but when my clients come and leave reviews, You don't think they're real
Yes.
because they all happened at the same time. Why am I paying you any money?
Unless one of them left a 1-star review.
Then it would stay.
That,
of course.
Oh yeah,
that one's
absolutely.
legit.
Yeah, that's the legit one.
And I was like, all right, cancel. I'm not done with you guys. And apparently you got to have like one review every couple of weeks or something.
Do you remember? I think it was a pizza shop or something in California that got pissed at Yelp. So they made it their mission to be the lowest rated restaurant on Yelp.
Oh, I've heard about
that. They
that.
literally had a sign outside.
Leave us a
1-star review. You know, it was awesome.
That's
I think
great.
I'm not sure if Yelp still has that listing up, but like that was my favorite marketing of all time.
It drives me. This is just my personal experience. Other people may have wonderful experience with Yelp. I don't know.
I know a guy that does like bulk trash clean out stuff. And he gets business from Yelp, and he's like, I like it. He's like, I pay a couple $100 a month. They send me a few leads, and he's like, I closed a few jobs. It's paying for itself. And I'm like, do you know what? Good for you.
Yeah.
As long as you're getting out more than what you're putting in, that's all that matters.
Yeah.
But yeah, not a fan of.
When they told me that my clients are being suppressed because they all left reviews within the same week, I was like, that's ridiculous.
That's actually a thing though. Like even Google does that.
But it doesn't make any sense because if I get a bunch of new clients and I start telling my clients, hey, leave us a review on Yelp, leave us a review on Google.
So what they look for are anomalies.
Yeah.
Right. So like.
Yeah, I haven't had any before. Now suddenly I got a bunch.
You get 6 in like 2 days. Because
I'm promoting
right?
it now.
Correct. And it's the same thing with like Google reviews and a lot of these. If there are too many reviews in a short period of time or on the same day, and it seems like an anomaly because most of them have it in their terms and conditions that you can't solicit reviews per se.
Yeah.
So that doesn't mean that you can't ask customers to leave you a review, but there are certain rules and things around it that you can't do, right? Like you can't have leave us a review for a free coffee, right?
Sure. And you also can't do like bulk mail, right? You can't like send like a bunch of emails out.
You're not supposed to, but like if you just set up a Google business profile or a Yelp, like how are you going to get your first reviews? You're going to ask your current customers to do it. Well, are you supposed to send 2 emails a day hoping one of them will do it?
Yeah. Wasn't there also something about if the person goes directly to the review profile or to the profile to leave the review, that is seem less realistic than the person going and typing in the name and finding it on their own. Like it's less it's less organic that way.
That could be with Yelp, right? Like
that's what I'm talking about. Yelp
with Google, with Yelp. I don't know. Yelp is Yelp is Yelp. Like, God knows how they decide what is fake and what is real. Because, like, I've left a review on Yelp. And it got suppressed, and I'm like, huh, interesting. That's going to be the last review I leave on this platform.
It's crazy.
Like, I literally walked out of the place, all right, like 10 minutes earlier. But yeah, I prefer Google reviews right now over, like, if we're looking at the review scale, I don't trust a single review on Yelp. I just don't.
Yeah.
Right. I always go to on the bottom of the page, there's a little button that says reviews that we thought were irrelevant. So they're still there.
Yeah.
Those are the ones I go and read.
Oh, interesting.
Not the ones they leave up.
You're a smart guy, I guess. Not everybody's going to do that. Before we keep going, make sure you hit that subscribe button if you haven't already.
Oh, and the like button. The like button's our friend.
The like button is our friend. Yes, we do like the like button. So please hit that too.
And thanks for the support. Let's keep it moving.
All right. So anyways, the world of Reddit.
Yes.
Let's see. Anon for a reason says, is it worth it to become an entrepreneur? I think we can answer that question.
I'm going to say no.
No, it's not. It's not worth it.
No.
Move on.
Nope.
Move on. Don't worry about it. No, don't even think about it. Don't worry about succeeding. No. Just be mediocre the rest of your life.
Mediocre.
No, absolutely, it's worth it.
You can excel in a 9-to-5.
You can excel in a 9-to-5, and you'll get a nice 10% raise. Oh yeah, look at Tim Cook, right?
I'm just saying.
It right? Can happen. Yeah. It's very, very far and few between, but it can happen.
Yeah, look at pretty much the entire top staff of Apple from 20 years ago.
Yeah.
They're all doing pretty good.
That's Apple. I wonder how many companies would actually keep staff on that long, though. Like a lot of companies don't. Like I know
well,
I've heard stories about Apple where like you always hear the story. Let's go to the other side. You always hear the story where, oh, well, the numbers are down this quarter. We got to let some people go.
mhm.
Right. And I've been told that Apple does not do that. Like they will keep their people, even if they're,
Seeing a downturn.
yeah, even if they're seeing
Okay.
a downturn in their stock or something like that. Most companies don't do that. Most companies are trying to appease the
Right.
stockholders and, we lost a quarter of a point. Got to let go of 50,000,
Mhm.
something like that. So I don't know.
Yeah.
Anyway, so is it worth it to become an entrepreneur? Yes, it is. And you asked the right questions here. He says, I need info, please. Is it worth it? How much do you work? What work do you do? What are the pros and cons? Any info would be helpful.
Okay. So how much do I work? I work more as an entrepreneur in the beginning than I ever did as a paid employee.
Yep.
And I made way less
Yes. In the beginning.
in the beginning.
And the beginning is probably a couple of years.
For me, it was about 2.5 years till I got to the point where I was making the kind of money I'd made as an employee.
Correct. But how many hours do you have to put in weekly to do that? Would you say?
Dude, I was pulling
70, 90?
60 to 80 hour
Yeah.
weeks.
Yeah.
At
70,
like
90 to me. Yeah.
a 60-hour week was like, man,
I
this was
know.
an easy week, right? Like,
Look at all this free time I have.
yeah, I have like an entire 6 hours on a Sunday all to
Yeah.
myself, right? Yeah, and the pros and cons. The pros are once you are established and you get it to a point where it is no longer reliant on you, you have more flexibility with your time. You have like little things that where I'm noticing it is I decided when my daughter started school, instead of putting her in aftercare, I leave work at 3:00.
Yeah.
And I go home and I hang out with my daughter for an hour. Now, are there days where I have to pull up my laptop and get some work done? During that time or later at night? Sure. But as someone that owns a business, I have the liberty to do that, right? Because
So would you? And my answer to this is yes. Would you say that's one of the best benefits of being an entrepreneur?
So-
Your own flexibility.
I think ultimately what every entrepreneur ultimately wants, what drives almost all of them, is either the longing for more freedom or the willingness to change something.
Yeah.
I think those are the two primary drivers.
Agreed.
Right?
Yeah. I like that.
I very rarely think that it's about the money or any of that stuff. I mean, it can happen. Like
the money. I look at the money as a side effect.
correct.
The money comes because you made a good product or a good service.
And I think people that go in it for the sake of the money often are more likely to be in the tech industry where they know they're going to try to take this company,
Wow.
get funding, exit strategy as an IPO. Like they're doing it for that process,
Yeah.
right? If you're talking about your average mom and pop business up the street, that wasn't the driver, right? Can it become the driver to get bigger and make more money and all that stuff? Yes, but I don't think that's where most people start.
Yeah, and you start into it, and it can be scary. It can be one of the comments is here. It's not for the faint-hearted, and it's not, because there's a lot of work up front that you're going to do. I mean, think about it like this, right? Let's just say let's equate building a business to building furniture. Right.
Okay.
Let's say you've never built furniture before. You've never started a business before. Okay. So it's an even ground. And the first few dozen times you go out and you try to make a chair, it's going to look ridiculous. It's not going to line up. It's not going to match. But after a few dozen times of doing it over and over again, you're going to eventually figure out how to make that chair. And so the first time it took you 100 hours to make a chair, whereas after a few months or years, you could probably make a chair in a good 2 or 3 hours, right? Well, that's kind of similar with business, where when you first start out, you don't know what you're doing. You don't know anything about sales. You don't know anything about bookkeeping. You don't know anything about, customer relations and such. And I mean, you might know a little bit, but you don't know enough.
So you're gonna know something about one or two things.
Yeah, but not everything.
Right. Yeah.
Because you're doing everything. And as you grow and as you continue in business, you will start fine tuning those skills to the point where it won't take you 6 hours to do your accounting. It'll take you half an hour or an hour to make.
Even better, you're outsourcing
or
it.
you're outsourced. Well,
right? Like
yes. However, I always recommend to people, when you first start, do your own book so you know how it works.
Correct.
You really want to know how the books work. And the reason is because someone I know fell victim to this gummy, where if you don't know what you're looking at, when you get the reports from the accountant or from the person who's doing your books, you're just like, yeah, sure, it looks good. You have no idea what's really happening.
Did I ever tell you I did I think I told you this. I did a seminar to be on a board of a nonprofit.
Okay.
And it's like an 8 or 12 week thing. I forget what it was, right? And most of it was relatively mundane type information, right? But what was interesting was there was like maybe 15 of us. And out of the 15 of us, I knew that probably about 10 of us were business owners. And so they finally got to the week where it was reviewing financials for a nonprofit.
Yeah.
So they send us sample financials for a nonprofit. And I go, okay, so here's the gross, they're net, the operating expenses, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, okay, how are we going to spend an hour on this? Right? I was like, this is so basic. Lo and behold, there was probably 6 of the other business owners that were asking rudimentary questions about a financial statement.
I thought you were going to go the other way. I thought you were like, there were like some hidden things in there that you didn't see.
No, the business owners
this
on the
cost of goods sold.
like, and I remember, like, I was totally flabbergasted. I was like, these were not the people I was expecting to be asking the questions. Like, I thought it was going to be the non-business people in the group that were going to be asking questions. And
excuse me, what's this RE stand for? Oh, that's retained earnings.
Right.
What's retained earnings?
Now, don't get me wrong. Like, nonprofit books look a little bit different than your business, but not to the extent that where you should have to ask like basic questions. Like, you should know.
And these are people that have been in business for a while.
Yeah.
And those are people that probably never done the books before.
Probably.
Do your books. Honestly, you're starting out, do your books.
Even if you don't do your books, learn how to read financial reports, right? If you can read the reports and you know what they mean, apparently you're way ahead.
Yeah, apparently. Well, no, it is important though, because if you're going to turn over your books, which are one of the most sacred things when it comes to your business, when you're going to turn that over to somebody else, you better, number one, be able to trust them. And if you can't trust them 100%, you better be able to know what you're looking at so you can tell if they're doing a good job.
And if you hire a bookkeeper, make sure it's someone that isn't just doing data entry, but that actually looks at it at the end of the month and can point out basic things like, hey, did you know your revenue was down 10%?
Yeah.
Right? Hey, did you know your revenue was up? Did you know your cost of goods sold is up? Right? Because if your cost of goods sold keeps creeping up, that wood gets a little bit more expensive every month, and you keep selling the chair at the same price, right? You're going to end up getting to a point where your margins are no longer there.
Yeah.
And if you're a bookkeeper or if you aren't paying attention to it, you can get in trouble real fast.
Yeah. So how much do you work? I think we answered that. What work do you do? I mean, we're kind of answering that. You're going to do everything. You're going to wear every hat in that business.
Yes.
You're going to be the salesperson. You're going to be the person who does the work. You're going to be the person who takes the complaints. You're going to be the person that makes sure that everything's, the shipping and everything is fulfilled. You're going to be the person that handles the bookkeeping, the bank accounts. I mean, yesterday it was like I wasn't so rushed for things. I had to run to the bank to deposit checks. Long story why I had to go, but I had to go to the bank to deposit checks. There's only 20 minutes out of my time. It's 10 minutes each way. That's 20 minutes of time that I really could have used doing something else.
And here's the other thing. Like, even as you grow, right, you're going to go through these stages. Like right now I have one of my like top employees is going on vacation for 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Right. So we've planned ahead, and like, there shouldn't be anything that comes up during those 2 weeks, but there are certain tasks that she is the only one that performs them because they're sensitive.
Yep.
So we don't let just anybody into it. So if that comes up during those 2 weeks, guess who's going to be filling in?
Yeah.
Right? Like, because there is no one else to do it.
You need to know how to do it.
Correct.
You better be able to do
Yes.
it. Yeah. Yeah. That's another thing. If you have an employee that can do a job that you can't do, that's a real problem.
Yep. Or if that's the case. So like I'm
not saying you have to be as good as them.
No,
You just have to know how to do the job.
Correct, especially early on, right?
Yeah.
So like now we are at a stage where we're cross-training people so that even if we lose somebody, the knowledge isn't gone, right? Like, so that's a rule that I have now, is that if one person knows how to do something, there is a backup that knows how to do it. Doesn't have to be able to do it as fast or as well, but they have to be able to do it, right? At least get through it.
Yep.
So, but you know, when you hire your first 2 guys or your first 2 ladies, whatever it is, you may not be able to cross-train everybody. Like, you are the person that's cross-trained.
Mm-hmm.
And then when you get to 6, now maybe you can start cross-training, or 8 or 10.
Yeah, exactly.
And yeah, it's all part of the growth process and understanding, like, and I think the hardest part for a lot of entrepreneurs is letting go of things too.
Oh, absolutely.
It's trusting someone else to
do the job. Oh, yeah, of course. We talked about that before. That's the founder syndrome.
Yeah.
That's where the founder of a company just cannot let go of control and trust that somebody else is going to do a good job for them.
And same thing, like when you hand over a responsibility that used to be yours, I have like the 75% rule, where if someone does it at 75% the level I used to do
that's good enough. Yeah.
That's good enough.
Yeah.
Right. So it may take them longer to do it. So just because it took me 6 hours doesn't mean it's going to take them 6. It could take them 8.
Actually, that's a great point too, especially for someone like this who's asking about becoming an entrepreneur. Do not, under any circumstances, expect that your employees will work as hard as you do. They won't. It's not their company. It's your company. Don't anticipate, like the 75% rule is good. If you find someone that's willing to put in 75% of the effort that you put in, you found a great employee.
Great employee, right? And
you really have.
It's funny because I was listening to Steve Jobs. Funny enough, by sheer coincidence, I brought up Apple earlier. But he always said, or I didn't always, it was one of the things he said, is his talent, ultimately his talent wasn't his ability to do what he did as far as like the technology.
Sure.
He said, my ability was being able to go out and find the A players. And he's like, and then I would bring on A players. And what he discovered is, if you bring a bunch of A players and you put them all in the same room, they're not used to working primarily with A players. They're used to working with a team of A, B, C, and F players, right? He's like, so it was fascinating to see the shift that happens when you bring in all A players, because they attract more A players. Like, they go out and they start finding more people they think would be helpful.
Interesting.
So
I like
it
that.
Was just, So that's why I always say, like, once you get to a point where you're hiring and firing people, I'm quick to hire and I'm quick to fire.
Yeah.
Right. Like, I'm willing to give you a chance, but if we find out a month into it that you're a D player with no chance of becoming an A player, you're not staying.
That's what Gary Vaynerchuk says. He says, you don't have to be good at hiring. You have to be good at firing, which is absolutely right. Correct. I don't know a lot of people that can do it the Steve Jobs method, where you can identify the A players right away and bring them in. That's got to be really hard.
But I think for him, it wasn't that he identified them right away. I think he did extensive research to find the A players. Okay. Right. So like, I forget who I was listening to said this, right? So if you bring someone in and you interview them, right? And then you ask, okay, so if I wasn't hiring you, and I needed someone that you look up to, who would it be? Gotcha. Right? And they give you a name.
Right.
Find that person, call them, right? And be like, hey, listen, I'm looking to hire someone for a position. Your name was brought up. But if you don't work out, who would be the guy you would hire if you could? And they'll normally give you a name, right? And he's like, if you do this, start with like 4 or 6 people. He's like, you would be surprised how often you end up with the same 3 names.
Really?
Yeah.
That's
and he's
cool.
like, now I know who the A players are. Now all I have to do is figure out what makes them tick and how do I get them.
Wow.
And I was like, that's actually a brilliant
That is
strategy,
a
right?
great,
Like
great strategy.
if you think about it, like if you needed a roofer and you called a roofer and you're like, yeah, I'm not sure, but like if I didn't hire you, who would be the next
Yeah,
best
and a lot of
roofer?
people would think, oh, they would never give you that answer. You know what? They would.
They
I
would.
think they would.
Yes. Right? Like I've said it a million times. Like people call me all the time and go, "Hey, can you do an AdWords campaign for me?" And my question is always, is that the only thing you want us to do? If the answer is yes, I just want to do AdWords. I don't want to do any of the other marketing. I tell them, I don't think you're a good fit for me.
Yeah.
I think, I don't think I'm a good fit for you. Because if we're only running your AdWords, that's not how we're built. We're built to deliver omni-channel campaigns, right?
Yeah.
But if you want someone that's really, really good at just AdWords, that also does a couple of other things, here's a name for you. Call him and see if they're a better fit. And people are always surprised.
That is a pretty cool idea. I like that a lot. I'm going to use that next time, especially with contractors. I'm going to use that next time I have to bring in a contractor. All right. Last part of this, any pros and cons? I mean, yeah, there's lots of pros and cons. I think we talked about a good bit of the pros, flexibility, money comes down the line, the ability, you're learning new skills, you're learning different areas of business in general. And that's in itself is worth so much. Even if it doesn't work out, you got to get back to full-time employment. Guess what? You're going to be worth a heck of a lot more to an employer as a full-time employee if you know all these skills.
Yes.
A heck of a lot more.
Yes.
So, and cons could fail. You could spend 100 hours a week.
I can tell you what
and get nothing out of it.
I can tell you what my biggest con is. It's the stress knowing that I have multiple people dependent on me for their income.
That is definitely stressful,
right? Like that is
that reminds me, I got to run payroll today.
Right,
forgot all about it.
But right, and that's the thing. Like that's what drives me a lot now is knowing how many people depend on this to keep going and succeeding.
No, it's so true.
And it is a pro and it is a con. It's the pro in the fact that yes, I can now make money with less work. The con is I also have to make sure that everybody else is taken care of, because if I don't take care of them, guess who's going back and
I'll tell you what happens.
60-hour weeks.
I'll tell you what happens early on too, is if you have employees early on, well, no, not I would say early on, when you get employees, for a little while, it's going to be, you're waiting for a check to come in from a client or a customer, and many times to make sure you have enough money to cover payroll. That happens a lot. The weird thing is over time, at least for me, and I know for you, over time, it's like, I don't care if I'm paying myself. I'm making sure my staff is covered.
Oh yeah.
And then if there's some money left over, then I'll pay myself.
Yeah.
Because I know I'll get compensated in the back end, once all the money comes in and stuff.
Yeah.
But when your employees are relying on that paycheck on that Friday, you cannot miss that.
Nope.
It's more important to you, or it becomes more important to you, to make sure they're paid than making sure you have enough money in your bank account.
Yep. And yeah, that's
a weird feeling. It really is.
It is, right? Like it's at us when you go through certain growth stages, you may have to take a pay hit, right? Then if you get screwed on a contract and there isn't enough money, you're the first one not to get paid, right? Like there's all these little things that people don't think about. And I don't know.
So, all right. Anon, for a reason. I'm sorry, I don't know why you're Anon, but okay, sure. That's, I hope some of that information helps you. There seem to be some pretty good comments here as well. Most people have to say, it's worth it, and don't underestimate certain things. But best of luck to you. If you have any questions, leave them in the comments. And apparently we'll get to them. I like it. We have some comments to talk about. All right, let's move on. This is from Spirited Pie 141, who's talking about setting up a laundromat.
Boring businesses.
Hello, hold your horses on that one, my friend.
Okay.
Hello, everyone. I want to open a laundromat, but I don't know anything about it. Does anyone have any suggestions, experiences, or own a laundromat? I'm looking to learn and build one. Thanks in advance. Well, my first question is, why are you looking to open a laundromat if you don't know anything about it? Right? So
It's a business.
What's your take on that? What's your take on starting a business? Not forget franchises because they teach you, right? But what's your take on starting a business that you know nothing about?
I'm okay with it as long as you know nothing about it, and
All
that
right.
it's going to be a very steep learning curve when you first start.
Okay.
Whether
You got to be
that's
willing. You got to be willing to do that
correct,
because
right? Like
you're behind the ball already.
I know nothing about lawn care, but me and a buddy of mine were talking about like the benefits of buying a landscaping business, right? And I
Okay.
know nothing about landscape. I couldn't tell you ryegrass from any other type of grass. I can't tell you the name of a damn tree. It's just either it's green all year or it's not.
I can
right?
identify a weeping willow. That's probably about it.
Right.
Maybe an oak tree.
I could identify an apple tree during certain seasons when the apples are hanging on it. Right? And that's about it.
You sure they're apples?
Yeah. But I have no problem with someone starting a business that they know very little or nothing about, because there are a lot of resources out there about almost any business type that if you are willing to go learn it and do the homework and go through it and take the risk. Like I knew nothing about running a website when I started my first online directory, right? Like I knew nothing about it. I knew like it was a website and it had to get updated and I had to gather information for it, right? And I was like, sounds easy enough. Well, come to find out that it's not, right? Especially in an era where there weren't a lot of websites. Like nowadays, like if you wanted to gather what's happening for local events, you would go online and find it, right? Well, I had a directory that was one of the ones that the reason I started was because this information wasn't online. People didn't have a cell phone in their pocket all the time where they could look up anything. The internet wasn't what it is today. So like I would have to call colleges and be like, hey, do you guys have any events going on this week?
Yeah.
Right? Like, do you have a schedule for the next month? Like the further out you have it, the better. I would call local clubs and be like, hey, do you have someone playing this weekend? If so, who? Like, do you have a schedule booked out? Can you send me more than just this weekend? And I was like, there was all kinds of things that I had not foreseen that I had to do. But once again, I learned a ton from it and I was willing to do the work that was needed, even though I didn't understand all the work needed when I started.
No, that makes sense. And quite frankly, a laundromat, that's probably not that steep of a learning curve. It's definitely a learning curve there. Things you have to understand, especially machine repair. You don't have to be able to fix the machine entirely, but you have to be able to, how to turn it off if it starts leaking or something like that. Customer service, et cetera, et cetera. But I've heard that they could be cash cows.
They can.
You can earn a lot of money with these things.
If you don't believe, go listen to Cody Sanchez.
Yeah, I think I've heard Cody Sanchez say that among other people.
Buy boring businesses.
Yeah.
Buy laundromats. Buy even like
pizza shops.
They are a little bit more intent, right? But like, I would much rather buy a scoop shop than a pizza shop. Right? Like Arvidas or...
Oh, hold on. My buddy Rich. What's up, Rich? He owns a landscaping company.
Yeah.
And he's been doing that for about 15 years.
Okay.
Good business out near... Oh, where's he at? He's out closer to like Villanova area, but not quite Villanova. And last year he opened up Arvidas.
Yeah.
And I actually talked to him yesterday and he said, Mike, if I could open up 5 of these, he's like, I should have done this 20 years ago. I said, the amount of stress I don't have when dealing with the Arvidas compared to the landscaping company. He goes, we open up shop, I hire a bunch of kids, we sell some water ice, and then I make a bunch of money. That's it.
They're cash cows.
They're cash cows. Right? They really are.
There's a reason there are now investment companies that just buy these boring franchises and pop them open and staff them. And they now make money, right? Like there's all kinds of boring businesses that are hugely profitable. It's just people want to be in the exciting stuff. Yeah. Nobody wants to be cleaning a soft serve ice cream machine at 11 o'clock on a Saturday night, right? Because like that's work, right? I'd much rather be a software developer and come up with the newest app. Well, guess what? That ice cream shop, will probably make the same amount of money you do with a hell of a lot less stress.
Less stress.
Right?
Absolutely.
It's the marketing for it is simpler. The marketing for it is easier. Like, just treat people nicely and serve good ice cream. Like, that's literally all you have to do.
Yeah. Well, let's take this into a laundromat, okay? Because that's what they're asking about. Okay. So, okay. What do you gotta do? First off, it's gotta be based on location's gotta be big.
Yes.
Right. I would have to assume. I don't know, but I would have to assume you'd want to go in a location that has apartment complexes, because most of your housing complexes, they're probably going to have a washer and dryer, especially if those developments are 20, 30 years old or less. You're going to have washers and dryers in there.
And you're going to be looking for a location that probably has a lot of walking access, meaning you don't have to drive to get there all the time. I was surprised when I found out that there's a couple of laundromats in Lansdale, and they're really, at the time when they opened, there was really not a ton within walking distance, and they were always full.
Yeah.
Right. So if you're in suburban areas, you want to find suburban areas that are centrally located around low income, high population type, like comparatively.
Right.
Right.
So the other thing, now when I was younger, I was apartment I was in, we did not have a washer and dryer, so I did use a laundromat for probably about three years or so. And the one thing that always bothered me was you can't leave your clothes there, but there's also nothing else to do there.
Right.
Combine that. Find something
put
to
a coffee
give people,
shop next to it.
A bar or something, right? Give people something to do while they're waiting 45 minutes for an hour for their clothes to wash, and then another hour for their clothes to dry.
If you're in a state like Vegas.
Oh, jeez, no. Okay, well, hold on. Now I'm just going to bankrupt people. Go on.
That's okay.
I'm going to the laundry. I'm bankrupt.
Do you have leftover quarters? Come in here.
Yeah, I know, right? Sorry, I can't afford to dry them this time.
There are definitely opportunities, I think, where you could combine a laundromat with something else, right?
Put an arcade there.
Or put a convenience store next to it.
Yeah, something
like just
right. I like the idea. So you want to get two spaces, one for the machines, and then one for whatever entertaining value, recreational area for people even if it's just like a little deli where they can come and have a sandwich and wait for their clothes to dry, right, or wash or whatever it is.
Gives you something to do. Right. So now you get twice the amount of money from people.
Microbrew. That's your answer.
I got a better one for you.
Microbrew.
No, like what are those called? Like the kids' play area places.
Do people bring their kids to the laundromat?
If there's a kids' play area right next door?
Think they would?
I think they would.
Maybe.
I think it would then become like a family excursion. Like go do laundry, go play in the play area.
Yeah, maybe.
It's
not a bad idea. What about the adults that don't have kids? They need something to do. They're going to go play too?
They can bring their iPad.
Oh, they'll bring their iPad. But no, seriously, think about it. That'd be a cool idea. Give them something to do while they're waiting for the clothes.
Yeah. Even if it's next door, inside.
Yeah.
Right? Like there's more revenue to be had. But with more revenue also comes more headaches. Yeah. More
things you got to do.
But if you just want to keep it simple, make sure you have a good tech on standby that can keep your machines running. Make sure you have more machines than what you need. So even if there's 3 or 4 machines out of order, nobody walks in with washers full.
Right.
Figure out, is it going to be staffed all the time? Or is there only going to be staff there during certain hours? Is it going to be a 24-hour laundromat? If it's a 24-hour, make sure you have the proper insurance. Make sure you have the proper camera, surveillance, like all that stuff, right? So just like with any other business, you just got to figure out the logistics of it first. Like, how do I keep this running, and what are my parameters for keeping it open?
Everything everywhere all at once. That's what it was, right? They had a laundromat. The grandmom owned a laundromat or something.
I don't know.
Did you see everything everywhere all at once?
I don't think I ever saw that.
What a funky movie, man. It's a cool movie. It's really, really strange.
Okay.
But it centers around a laundromat. They own a laundromat. This, I think I want to say they were Chinese. It might be Vietnamese. I can't remember. But
was it a laundromat or was it a dry cleaner?
No, it was a laundromat.
Okay.
It was a laundromat. Absolutely. Yeah. Because they kept fixing the machines and stuff. Although I think they actually did have a dry cleaning attached to it as well. I think they did both. But I just remember, it just sparked in my mind that they owned a laundromat there. And I just remember, they were always emptying quarters out of the machines. There was
Yeah.
so much money in there. So yeah, laundromat can definitely be a cash cow. I like the idea of building something else along with it, some type of recreational thing to do while you're waiting, because people aren't just sitting there waiting.
They are.
Give them something to do. Bingo, something. I don't know.
Bingo. I'm gonna have a bingo hole next to my laundromat.
So,
But yeah, if for some random reason you're asking this question because you stumbled upon Cody Sanchez, go listen to the rest of the stuff she says. No, because I hear this talked about more and more, right? Because these influencers are coming out where they're talking about this stuff. So people are like, oh, that's a great idea. Let me go do it. And you're like, whoa. Think this one through, right? Like, yes, it's a boring business. Yes, if you open the laundromat in the right area, you can hit, you can hit big, and but the difference between like a Cody Sanchez and you opening one up is that she wants you to open it, and once you've proven that it's profitable, she'll come buy it.
Yeah, right.
Right? Like, therein lies the difference. So you're taking the risk to see whether or not it will actually work. She's just buying them once they've been proven to work. Because once again, it's cheap for her to buy a lot of these businesses because nobody wants to own a laundromat, right? You want to own something sexy. You want to be a social media influencer that makes money off of...
It's funny because I could see running into someone. Oh, what do you do? Oh, I'm a social media influencer. I do this. And you're like, oh, wow, what an exciting life.
Yeah.
What do you do? I own a laundromat. Oh, that must be boring. And the laundromat person's worth 10 times the social media influencer ever was.
Dude, I ran into a guy and I was talking to him and I'm like, so what do you do? He's like, oh, we have a dry cleaning business. I was like, is there any money in that? He's like, well,
I just bought my third plane.
No, but he could. I kid you not, right? No, he's like, yeah, no, we have like 147 locations.
What? I have a dry cleaning business?
Yeah.
I am the dry cleaning business.
Right. So what he figured out early on is that all he needed was a tiny little like 300 square foot storefront. Yeah. And then he has a massive facility in some industrial neighborhood where rent is dirt ass cheap.
It ships everything over there. Okay.
He sends vehicles out. They go and pick up. So there's a
logistical nightmare.
It's not though.
It can be.
No, because he sends the car out in the morning. That vehicle has X number of stops, and then he comes back to the factory. Right? The factory dry cleans it the next day. Right? So it comes in at night.
Yeah.
They dry clean it the next day. The driver is taking the previous day and going back to the exact same stores in the exact same circle and delivering what was there previously. Like, it's as simple logistics as you can get, right? Store one, store two,
I don't know if it's
store
that simple.
three.
Something has to be done to make sure you're not confusing which store it came from, which store it goes back to.
Correct, but that's easy. Color code the labels.
Maybe something like
right?
that.
Like on your route, this is the purple store, this is the blue store, this is the yellow store, right? Like logistically, there's worse things. I used to run.
No, sure,
right. But yeah, that's the other thing is like when people think about scaling, they often think, oh, I have to do what I did here and replicate that in another way, right? When the solution could be, no, I just need a storefront here and a truck, and now I've doubled my capacity.
Yeah.
Right? I've doubled the amount of business I can do without having to add second equipment.
Yep.
I didn't need second washing machines or ironing board, like whatever it is. It's I'm utilizing, and so I add someone here on a second shift. So now I have someone working from 4 a.m. till noon, and someone from noon till 8, and you've doubled your capacity of what you can do.
Yeah,
right. Like that's the growth part of it. With laundromats, the only way you scale a laundromat is if you fill it up and you need more washing machines, right?
Which requires more space. Yeah.
But once a laundromat is running and it's profitable, it's probably just going to keep running. And as long as you maintain the equipment and make sure you replace it when it's busted
and keep it clean.
I was going to say, and keep the place looking nice. It's a boring business, but can be profitable.
Cha-ching, change.
Correct. It's like that.
I think the quarters coming out.
Dude, it's that damn guy that I ran into at the cigar shop that was filling the damn vending machine.
Yeah.
Right. And I'm like, you work for them? He's like, no, I own these vending machines. I'm like, really? He's like, yeah.
I've run into people like that. Yeah.
I have like 100 vending machines all across the county. I'm like, oh, and is that good? He's like, I make 6 figures and I have an employee.
Yeah.
He's like, I'm okay. He's like, I work whenever I feel like it, as long as the places are open.
Yep.
And he's like, now with the technology, he's like, I don't even have to check the vending machines before I go out. I literally get a digital report that says this machine needs this. He's like, so my job became exponentially easier over the last decade because it sends me the report of what it's missing.
Yeah.
Like how many units have sold of each, so I know exactly what I have to restock. He's like, it's made my life easier. I now
That's
work.
Awesome.
I now like have to carry less stuff around, have less inventory because I can just order it as I need it.
Right.
I was like, oh, maybe I should own a vending machine. I'll put it right here in your lobby.
So, Spirited Pie, Gummy's going to buy a bunch of vending machines and put them into your laundromat.
Yeah.
Okay. And as you open up new locations, we'll continue to keep them stocked.
We will feed your laundromats with vending machines.
So, no, there you go. So I hope that gives you some ideas on, what to do with a laundromat. Again, I really like the idea of coupling it with some other business to keep people occupied, because they're there. They're going to be there. They're going to sit there. You might as well give them something to do where you can make a little more revenue.
My old high school coach had a laundromat.
Yeah.
In like Telford, out of all places. Right?
They need clean clothes up at Telford.
Yeah, but we used to go to his damn laundromat because he had a couple of like the arcade games in there.
Oh, sure.
So we used to walk over not to do laundry, but to actually play the card games.
Sure.
Like it was a blast.
When I was younger, Street Fighter 2 was the game. It was just before Mortal Kombat came out. And there were only a handful of places that had it. So it didn't matter where it was, you walked to that place to go play Street Fighter.
Yeah.
Didn't matter.
Yeah. I mean, now video games and stuff, you can just do it on your phone.
Yeah, of course.
But there's something about...
It's not the same.
No, it's not.
It's not the same at all.
Maybe we're aging ourselves here.
Oh, totally aging ourselves here. All right, Spirited Pie, good luck to you. Let us know when you're up and running. We'll send you a few bags. All right. Moving on.
Shiny object syndrome.
Yeah, shiny object syndrome. I love it. Here we go. Own Source 3197 says, I keep jumping from one idea to another. You are not alone, my friend. You are not alone by any means. Lately, I've been struggling with shiny object syndrome. I am constantly switching between ideas, but never sticking long enough to see real progress. I did some deep research, and one of the biggest game changers I learned was not to consume content outside the topic where I'm working. Has anyone else struggled with this? Everyone has struggled with this.
And it's amplified now, right?
Yeah.
So
you're constantly being hit with, go do this. No, go do that. No, go do that.
Yeah. The problem is people switch things way too quickly because they always think it's the next big idea. And I would recommend anybody that's struggling with this, that's struggling with the shiny object syndrome and doing something for 6 months and then jumping on to something else and jumping on to something else. You are, no matter what business you start, the first 6 months are going to suck.
Oh, yeah.
Right? So you are basically jumping from one sucky thing to the next sucky thing to the next sucky thing instead of sticking with something until it becomes good. And for anybody that has this issue, go watch Diary of a CEO where he talks to Alex, specifically the one where he talks to Alex Hermosi, because they literally just did a deep dive on this.
Yeah.
On the shiny object syndrome. And it is probably one of the best podcasts I've listened to in a really, really, really long time.
Okay.
Especially because of what we're doing here and the amount of startups and small business owners that I talk to, I would almost make that a mandatory listening before talking to someone. I'm like, have you heard that episode? No, go listen to it and call me back.
Call me back later.
Right.
Yeah.
It is just, they touch on all of these different aspects. They touch on the shiny object syndrome. They touched on the uninformed optimism, and then informed optimism, and then like Alex Hormozi has this scale that he uses, right? And he's like, most people bounce between the first three, right? And they're living in this constant cycle. And he's like, and that doesn't just apply to people that are starting up, right? He's like, a lot of people that have been in business 5+ years, the reason they don't grow is because they keep bouncing between these things. And they're basically reliving the last 6 months of their life over and over and over again because they don't know how to take the next step.
Yeah.
Right. And I was thinking about it.
Heck,
I'm like,
I'm guilty of that myself.
Oh, I was like, why are you talking to me? Right? Like,
he just described my
I was
day
like,
every day.
Hey, why are you calling me out like this?
Right.
Like, I'm just here by myself. No need to call me out. Right. But honestly, after listening to that episode, I was like, damn, like he's right. Like the last probably post-COVID, when we lost 80% of our business, I think I've been stuck in that reliving the last 6 months over and over and over again, right? And it wasn't until like recently I started thinking about all this stuff, and I'm like, I can't keep using this as an excuse. Like I have to go do something.
Yep.
And then that episode came, and when he said that, I'm like, damn it, right? So like I went back and in the last, I think I started watching this episode. So I did it. It's like 2-hour episode.
Okay.
Right. So I didn't watch it all in one sitting. I broke it up over a few nights. But like I found myself at the end of last week, I was like, okay, it's time to make changes. Like it's time to start ramping this up and actually going through this. Like I know what to do. It's just I haven't had that fire to go do it.
Yeah. I mean, again, I'm right there with you. I jump even today. Even with my law practice, I still jump back and forth between my law and my coding. I like doing both of them so much.
Right.
It's not so much chasing the object as opposed to I'll do one for a little while. And it's like, I really want to go over here and start doing this other thing. And then I'll go back to doing, and I just keep jumping back and forth. But, again, it is a problem for a lot of people. Yeah. And it's easy to say, well, just focus. No, it's not. You got to understand the world that we are in now, that we've been in for the last 15, 20 years, has been instant gratification.
Yes.
Right? The moment you pick up your phone, the moment you turn on your TV, the moment you pick up your tablet, you have everything in the world at your fingertips. There is no guessing. There's no questioning. There's no waiting anymore for anything. Oh, you want to buy something? It'll be there in 12 hours. It'll be there tomorrow morning, right?
Yeah.
Or you can download it right away. Like think about when we used to listen to music when we were younger. You had to go to the store, buy the CD or the tape or whatever it was.
Or sit by the radio and hit record.
Sit by the wait for it to come on the radio. Now it's instant download. Heck, you don't even download anymore. You just stream it. You just go type it in and you automatically get it. So it's very difficult for people to take that mentality and change it to, okay, I'm going to be patient with this. Yes. No, you can't be. And especially if you're going online, which you should, to do research and learn new things. If you're hearing different people say, well, you know what the next cool thing is? You know what this cool thing is? So no, don't waste your time in real estate. Go do this. No, don't do that. Do real estate. It's which is, and you just, your mind's all over the place. You don't know what to do. But at the end of the day, the word is you got to focus. You got to force yourself to focus on what you can accomplish.
Yeah. So one of the things that struck me in this interview, right, is because they're both investors, right? The guy that does the interview, he's on Shark Tank in the UK, right? And Alex Hormozi basically owns acquisition, which acquires companies, right? And he was like, the difference between the experienced entrepreneur and the not experienced entrepreneur. He's like, the not experienced entrepreneur would come to us and say, oh, this is a great idea. We've got it figured out. Here's our projections. Here's the gross revenue we'll have. Here's the net. Here's the projection for that for the 5 years. He's like, I know that's a new entrepreneur. Mm-hmm. He's like, when I'm talking to an experienced entrepreneur, they'll come up and say, oh, and they'll have like an NDA for you to sign. He's like, the person doing it for the 5th time will show up and go, here's everything we have. We don't know if it's going to work. We think it will, but I have a great team and it's probably going to take longer than we think it will. Right. And he's like, that's the guy I'm investing in.
Because everything he said is true.
Correct. Because he's like been there, done that. Right. Yeah. So it's very interesting is people don't realize that even when you start a business and then you get to a point and you've been running it for a year and it's not growing at the rate you thought it was going to grow, or it's not doing what you thought it was going to do, and people go, oh, this must have been a horrible idea, I should go do something else, right? The reality is, and this is where like nuanced expertise comes in, is that it could have been that it wasn't necessarily that it was a bad product or a bad service or a bad business. It was just your messaging was wrong.
Yeah.
You went off after the wrong clientele. Like there was nothing wrong with the product or service. You were just trying to sell it to the wrong people the wrong way.
Or at the wrong time.
Correct. Yeah. Right? So like that's the difference, and that's what you learn the deeper you get into a business. It's like, oh, but it didn't take off in 6 months, so it must be a bad business. Or a bad business person.
Right.
More likely to be the explanation, right? Because I've seen businesses take off, and we've had this conversation where I was like, that's a business, right? And then like 2 years later, the person's like, yeah, I just hit my first, 7-figure year. And you're like, huh.
Wow. Good for you.
Look at that, right? Like,
never would have thought that would work.
You're now in the top 10% of businesses, right? Yeah. Like, but yeah, so stop. The key to succeeding in any of it is the consistency and being willing to adapt. Yeah. And learn, right?
And again, it's so easy to fall victim to the shiny object. I think it really is. It's so, ooh, what's that cool thing over there? It's just
right.
You got it. Yeah. No.
It was funny. I
back off. You have to.
I told you about my buddy that sold those damn 2-wheeled scooters on, right? So I never told you the rest of that story. So, Walmart took a sample order from him.
Yes,
right which was like 50 containers.
Yeah.
Well, the rest of the story is, so they placed one more order with him. And then I asked him, like, are you gonna keep doing this business? And he's like, no. He's like, now I'm done. He's like, now I'm going to go find the next thing that I can do it.
Yeah.
Because by the time this order comes in, there's going to be 50 competitors from China selling the same item, doing the same thing, that are now going to be approaching them at a much cheaper rate than what I can do.
I thought you were going the other way with it, which is Walmart's going to be building it themselves. But yeah, same thing.
Right.
Yeah.
So like, it was interesting that sometimes you can have a business and the business does really well, but he knew that it was also time to exit it because he didn't want to compete. He was competing on the novelty level.
Right.
He wasn't competing on the ability to produce it cheaper, faster.
Yep.
He was like, that's not the business I'm in. He's like, I'd much rather go find the next novelty item that I can do this with all over again. So like, once again, he wasn't chasing shiny objects. He would literally go find something that he believed in could fit into this business model and sell that.
Yeah.
And we've talked about this too. Figure out the model, right? And then you can plug anything into it. Just like Amazon did. They started with used books and they've now plugged cars into it.
Yeah.
Right? Like
cars. still don't understand that one. So all right. Own source. Look, I know you've heard us say it a bunch of times today. It's really hard to focus when your entire world has been, look at this. Mm-hmm. If you're going to be an entrepreneur, if you're going to open up your own business and you really, really want to do it, you have to change your behavior. And it's going to be tough at first.
Mindset.
Well, that's, kind of,
behavior,
mindset. All of it has to change. And it's going to be tough at first. And I have nothing but sympathy for you because I had to go through it too. I really did. But it will be worth it in the end. And if you keep in the back of your mind where you're trying to get to, what you're trying to accomplish, then it will be worth it, and it'll be easier for you to do it. Because if you're not actively telling yourself why you're doing this, you're just going to go off the deep end and just keep jumping to the next thing. I gave it 3 months and it didn't work. Mm-hmm. Man, business, you need 4 years before you should make an decision.
You are stuck in what Hermosi calls uninformed optimism.
Yes.
Right? Like, it's the best way to describe it that I've ever heard. Yeah. It's like, oh, this is going to be awesome. It's great. I have this business. It's going to be phenomenal. It's because you don't know. right? So you can be uninformed and be super optimistic.
It's like the grass is greener on the other side theory, right?
Oh,
Everyone
always.
always thinks the grass, and you know what? Very rarely, if ever, is it greener on the other
No.
side. In fact, what you should be doing,
If it is greener, it just means someone took the time to actually tend to it.
yeah. And I was going to say, it's something similar to that. If you're worried about the grass being greener on the other side, just tend to your own grass. Make it better. Make your grass better because you already have it. You already have what's there. It's better, like the devil you know versus devil you don't. It's better with the devil you know because you know exactly what you need to do.
Yep.
You already know what the pros and cons are. You already know what the ups and downs are. Go fix the problems with what you have because as soon as you jump into something else, you're starting all over again. All that time and energy you put into one thing, gone. Gone. You're starting over from zero. Take the time, figure out what the issues are with this thing, and move forward. Don't worry about the other thing. The other thing will be there in 5 years. I promise. It's not going anywhere. Right. And if it is going somewhere, then you don't want that anyway.
Correct.
So if it's something, that's a good point. If it's something that's going to be big, it'll be big later.
Yes.
Don't worry.
And you will now know how to get into that market because you did it once with something else.
Right.
But if you're always in those beginning stages.
All right, Own Source, best of luck to you. Just try to stay focused. It's so hard. I know it's hard to do, but good luck to you. All right. This one is from Xfinite. No, Zinfinite. There you go. Is that right? Zinfinite?
I guess.
It starts with an X. I don't know. How exactly am I supposed to start anything entrepreneur related if no one is hiring in jobs anymore? Wait. I'm going to continue reading.
ESL. English is a second language.
Oh, no. I'm not worried about the structure. They're talking about how am I supposed to be an entrepreneur if no one's hiring? Let's see.
Because he wants to.
I honestly don't feel like there's really much else I can do to begin my journey to success. I've been applying to jobs constantly, and to little no surprise, no text backs, no emails, no calls, no interviews, just straight up and plain nothing. I don't know how else I'm supposed to make money if there isn't anything I can do to gain it. Online businesses require funds to start. I don't have a laptop due to a battery problem and charger problems, so I don't think development or anything is a viable option at this point. Please give me some insight. I feel really hopeless and just living day to day, hoping one of these days I magically get money that falls out of the sky. I don't possibly know any other ways I can make money without my computer, other than maybe wiping off windows and maybe taking care of other people's pets. All right, so what they're saying is I want to make some money so that I can start my own business. Okay, got it. Okay. No, not okay. Sometimes it is hard. Sometimes it's real hard to go out there and get a job.
I get it. If you have standards. Dude, when I...
so you're saying you can just walk into any like retail place or any Wawa or something like that?
All you need is money, then you can walk into any place and take the job. The problem is generally is that people have this minimum standard in their head of jobs they're not willing to do.
Yeah, it's true.
If you're willing to go pick up dog poop or clean windows or walk someone else's trash out, there is plenty of work out there, right?
As long as the hourly rate is worth it.
If you are making $0, then if someone pays you $1 to take out the trash, right, that's still proportionally worth a lot more of your time.
Okay. Well, maybe. All right.
Getting something.
I'd like to do the math on that one, but okay.
Okay. But getting paid something is always better than getting paid nothing, right? With nothing, an hour later, you have nothing.
That's assuming you're not doing anything for yourself, like
he just said he isn't. He doesn't have a laptop. He doesn't have anything.
Yeah. What's up with the laptop battery?
Okay. Once again, probably not from this country. So this is not an uncommon problem. Like if you go to South America, I went to a tiny little town in South America, like population 26,000, and they still have internet cafes because a bunch of people in the town don't even have computers.
Okay.
Right? So if you are willing to take someone else's trash out, if you're willing to do the work that other people don't want to do, there's a way to make money.
Yep.
Right? And if you need to make money to make a better future, then do the shitty jobs to make money until you can afford to buy a new laptop or a new battery or a new charger, and then keep doing the shitty jobs while educating yourself on how to be more valuable, right?
Yeah.
because you are only as valuable to someone as what they're willing to pay you for your time. Your value cannot exceed that.
Yeah, that's interesting. And you're talking about no text backs, no email backs, no calls, no interviews. I mean, you can just walk into a job, a store, and ask for an application.
Go
anywhere, right? We don't know where this person is, though.
Correct. Walk to your local farm. Like, in this case, don't assume that it's like it is in the US, right? Let's assume this is South America, because that totally changes the conversation. Let's say he's in a tiny town in South America.
All right.
There could be 4 employers in the entire town.
Yep.
Right. And I can give you a perfect example is the town that I visit in Colombia. There is one main factory, the Nestle factory, that is the hub for all employment in the area. And then there's a bunch of sugarcane. If the main factory isn't hiring, there aren't a ton of other jobs that you can go apply for, meaning the grocery stores, the little mom and pop shops, the markets can only hire so many people. And if all those jobs are taken, there is no work for you to find in that immediate vicinity. And if you have no money and no transportation and no computer, it's not like you can go from one town to the next to get a job, right? It's a little more challenging than what we would think of it here. But once again, you need something to start.
Right.
So go and walk around your town and ask people, is there anything I can do for you for a little bit of money? If they say, yes, I need my toilets cleaned, then with a smile, you grab that toilet brush, you go brush those toilets, you get paid, and then you move on, right? And then the next person says, yes, I need all the dog poop picked up from my yard. Guess what you're going to be doing, right? You're going to be picking up dog poop, getting money because you need something to start with.
Yeah. And that can be a business.
Picking up dog poop.
It is.
Yeah.
It's a business.
Correct.
People are doing it now.
It's a franchise.
It's a franchise.
That's how big of a business it is.
It really is.
Right. But it's this is what gets me is when people go, well, I'm worth more than, let's just take the US. I'm worth more than $15 an hour. And I go, perfect. What do you do now? Nothing. Okay. So you're not even worth $15 an hour right now. So being worth $15 an hour is $15 more an hour than what you're worth now.
And that's interesting because what is the purpose of being worth $15 an hour right now? Are you talking about because that's the money you want to make to live off of? Or is this the money you're trying to make to build your business? So does it matter if you're making 15 or 12 or 10? Just start saving that money for your business.
Correct.
Whatever dollar amount you can get, go get it.
Yes.
And put it away for your business.
Right. And this is where the conversation of someone's worth, value, and all these types of conversations come in, right? Is if someone thinks they're worth $50 an hour, they have to be providing more value than $50 an hour. Right. That's the only way you're worth it is if your value is higher than what you think you're worth. Because otherwise, that's not what you're worth.
Right.
So if you don't have a job, if you aren't making any money, if you have no knowledge, if you have no skills, your value is going to intrinsically go down, right? Like, but value is if you know how to drive a truck, if you have a CDL, you intrinsically have more value than someone that doesn't, right? For someone specific. Yeah. For a trucking company, someone with a CDL is worth 50 times more than someone that doesn't have a CDL, right? When you're starting out, if with no skills, no nothing, you have no value. Your value is whatever someone is willing to give you for your time. Yeah. That is the grand sum of your value.
And that might be $10 or 15 or whatever
could be, could be $1.
Yeah,
depending on where in the world you live.
Well, not here.
Not here, right? Depending on where in the world you live, right? Like I'll give you the example. We were down there and we were buying this big thing of raw milk because we were making this Colombian like candy. It's like a caramel type thing, right? So it's basically milk with sugar and some rice, but whatever it is. And then you put it over heat and you have to keep stirring it for like 6 hours, right? It's the most horrendous thing to ever cook. And I always remember we were talking about like, hey, we want to make this. Can someone go buy the milk?
Yeah.
Because they buy like this big metal container of raw milk. And they were like, well, we don't know if we have the money because, you know, it's a lot of money to buy all that milk. And I'm like, shit. I'm like, I can front the money. Like, how much is it? And it was the equivalent to $10.
Oh God. It's
right.
A shame.
But that's the reality
Yeah.
of where they were. Like, that was a lot of money. And I'm like, $10. I've spent that on a snack at Wawa. Right. Like, but it's that just because it's worth a lot to them doesn't mean that it's the same for me. Right. So, and yeah, like the guy that I hired not too long ago was working for a call center. And when I asked him how much the call center was paying him, it was $160 a month. $160 a month is what he was getting paid to work at the call center.
Wow.
And so I asked him, and like originally I wasn't going to hire him. And I'm like, how much do you want to get paid? Like what would you like? And he's like, in an ideal scenario, like maybe $600 a month. And this is a guy that's a graphic designer, a video editor. And I'm like, so we ended up hiring someone else. Right. And I kept thinking about this guy. And then like 2 days later, I go to my finance lady and I'm like, we have an extra $600 a month that we don't really need. Right. And
how do you not?
Right. And she goes, of course we do. And I'm like, let me run this by you real quick. I'm like, I talked to this guy. He seems super awesome. He's like kind-hearted. Like, I'm like, I kind of want to hire him even though we don't really need him right now. I'm like, I want to hire him just because he was a really nice kid. Right. And she's like, okay. So I call him and I'm like, listen, I got good news and I got bad news. I'm like, the bad news is you're not getting the job that I was advertising for. The good news is I'm still going to hire you. And I'll pay you the $600 that you want. And if you find a better job, I understand if you want to leave. I totally get it. Right. And then what I needed I ended up getting more of that business. So I actually ended up needing him anyway, like more than I realized. So then I bumped his pay to like $800 a month. Right. And I remember the one night I was sitting outside on a Friday night and I'm on my Teams and I see that he's online. So I message him and I'm like, what are you doing? He's like, oh, I'm just wrapping something up. I'm like, it's 8:00 on a Friday night. Right. So I called him and I'm like, can you please stop working? Right. Like, and he's like, no, but you don't get it. He's like, I love working with you guys. He's like, I love working for you. And I'm like, why? And he's like, well, you were willing to give me a chance when nobody else was. Yeah. He's like, I was starting to question whether or not I was even worth the $600 a month anymore. Wow. Right. And you see people that sometimes just, especially in like these types of small or like smaller towns in these countries, like a lot of people that have huge potential just never get the opportunity to do what they wanted to do. And what sold me on this guy was he had actually sent me a music video that he edited. So
I think you told me this. Go ahead.
Yeah. So it was like a metal band.
Oh, cool.
And he recorded the video and edited it and put it up. And ultimately that was where I was like, this kid has talent. Someone just has to give him a chance.
It's very cool.
Right. Like, yeah. But so for this, if you're not having success with anything that you're applying for, maybe you're applying for the wrong things. Maybe you don't qualify for it. Maybe they don't want you because you lack the skill set.
Or like you said, maybe it's just you're holding out for something specific, and it's maybe that's just if you're trying to earn money to be an entrepreneur, go do anything. Do anything. Doesn't matter what it is.
Dude, I cleaned a large printing facility as a second job when I was starting one of my businesses because I needed the money to live. And it was like, I can take this guaranteed job that I can do.
Yeah.
I just have to be there 3 times a week. It doesn't matter if I show up at midnight and leave at 2 a.m. I'm like, but that'll keep me fed and gas in my car. So guess what I did?
Let me guess.
Yeah, right. I didn't say, oh, I'm worth more. No, I was like, okay, I'll take this job because it suits with what I'm trying to do.
You know, that's actually a good point, because if you're going to be an entrepreneur, you got to be able to do that too. You got to be able to say, look, I might not get paid. I still got to do the job. Mm-hmm. I might not get paid as much as I want. I still got to do the job.
Yep.
for especially when I'm first starting out, beggars can't be choosers. I got to take that job even if I don't want to take it because the business has to survive.
Yeah.
And if you're already in the mentality of, well, I'm not going to do that because that's beneath me, you might not be cut out to be an entrepreneur. You really might not.
Dude, I know a guy that had some businesses in New Jersey, and they were all interpersonal type businesses. During COVID, all of his businesses took a drastic hit. He ended up going upside down on the businesses. He was now like paying on loans and stuff. He made sure all of his employees got paid. He kept working. And when the businesses were closed, because like there's only so much you can do if you're in that type of business, when the business is closed, he started driving Uber on Friday and Saturday nights to supplement his income.
Wow.
And this is a guy that owned 4 businesses. But because of the drastic hit that he took during COVID, he was like, look, $1's a dollar. Like it doesn't matter where it comes from. He's like, either I'm out there making it or someone else is. And he's like, I'd rather it be me because I could use it right now to bounce back. And I'm like, that's the guy that should be running the business.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. The one's going to go the extra mile to make sure that business survives and that those people are getting paid.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, Zinfinite. There you go. Zinfite. Xinfinte. Xinfinte. How would you pronounce that?
Well, they pronounce Xfinity. So
wouldn't
this be X Infinite?
X Infinite? X Infinite? I don't know. Whatever it is. Good luck to you. Spell that out phonetically for us, would you? All right. I do believe we had time for one more.
Oh, software development.
Which one do you want?
Either or.
All right, we'll do this one.
We do a bunch of software ones, don't we?
We have in the past, yeah.
Okay.
All right. A Lookie says, how do I create a pitch? Software development. Hello all. I'm learning iOS development and have thus created a couple of personal apps that I publish in the iOS store. First off, let me say,
congratulations.
Proud of you. It is not easy getting an app into the iOS store. It really is not. There is so many outside of the development part of it. There are so many things you have to do to get it into the app store. Someone actually looks at it, goes through it with a fine-tooth comb, and then tells you, oh no, you didn't do this, you didn't do that. And it drives me nuts sometimes trying to get apps in there. So good for you. My local gym has had an absolutely dire app. It's unfinished and ugly and barely functional. I convinced them I could create a better alternative, and I've already created a basic MVP that functions and has demo content. I'm sure I could put together a working backend to handle user sign-in, entry, and class bookings. I'm uncertain as to how I would put together a pitch for them, though. The existing provider handles both payments, car park, and car park entry, etc., and is a fairly large company with which would complicate things in regards to migration and trust that I have only just started out. Even if they turn me down, I would still like to go ahead and demo my product and make a pitch. I have never done this before. This would be my first real client. Any suggestions?
Yeah, don't start with that client.
I was just going to see that. You beat me to it. Yeah, that's way over your head, buddy. Yes, it's because here's the deal. Sometimes you only get one shot. And when you're a company developing software or something like that, if you do it, number one, you're going to spend a ton of time building it, and it's not going to work, and you're not going to get paid, and no one's coming to work with you again.
And also, you're solving one of 4 problems the other one does.
Yeah.
Right. So they may have known going into this that this was the worst part of the app.
Yeah.
Right. But it was more important to solve all the other things. And this was an add-on. So this is not the first client you want to go after.
Now, I have no problem with you doing something like this for a gym. Just do it for another gym.
Yes.
That doesn't need all these things. Doesn't need a payment gateway.
Correct.
Doesn't need car park. Are you kidding me? No.
Well, even the payment gateway would be easy to integrate into an app, right?
No. It's not.
Oh, because it's iOS.
Yeah, it's not easy to integrate payment gateways into an app. In fact, most of the time what you have to do, not always, but most of the time what you have to do is you actually have to create a API, like a SOAP version API or an XML API or something like that, that you hit from the app in order to pass the payment information to hit the gateway. You can integrate directly into the app, but man, is it tough. There's a lot of hard work there,
Right.
and the testing is rigorous. So the smart way to do it is to have the payment gateway off the app that you're just hitting with an API, because what happens is Apple doesn't check that then. They don't care. They don't care about the integration as long as
it's
the
not
API is connecting.
Right.
Once it's built into the app, the testing is rigorous. And it's hard. It's so hard to get approved.
Okay. So,
Because they're looking at it as, well, our app is taking a credit card.
right.
It doesn't work that way if it's an API call. So
Okay.
anyway, go ahead.
So yeah. So you have to find a gym that only needs to solve the problems you can solve
Right.
with your app. Don't start with a gym that has an app that solves 4 problems and think you can pitch, because they're going to go, what about the parking thing? What about these other things? What about the automatic payments for the memberships, right? Like if you don't solve any of those problems, it doesn't matter how much better your app is as far as it looks and functions from that perspective. If it doesn't solve the other 3 problems, your app is probably worthless.
And don't say, well, I can solve those problems. Maybe, but not right now. Not if this is your first time building an app. I mean, you could be the greatest coder in the world. I have full faith in you that you know what you're doing.
It's a massive
It's a massive undertaking. Exactly. It is a massive, massive undertaking. And this is not something that a person does. This is a team project when you're doing something like this.
And the fact that it's handling the payments and the card park entry and
and
the fact that he added et cetera,
yeah,
right? Like
what else would there be?
Correct.
Yada yada. Right?
Or is it also handling like payments for the food kiosk? Like,
right? Does it also have like your diary of what you did at the gym that day, and it's like keeping track of your weight loss and so? What the heck, you know?
So this is not the gym.
No,
not saying you shouldn't do
this. Is not the gym you were looking for.
This is definitely not the gym. Find the gym that solves that one problem that you can solve.
Yeah.
Right. And it's probably going to be a small local mom and pop type gym that is overpaying for an app that they don't really like anyway. And you can say, hey, would you be willing to demo this for 3 months? I'll give it to you for free.
Yeah.
And if you like it, then I'll charge you half of what you're paying for your current app, because now you have a real life sample that you can take to the next location and say, hey, these guys were using the same app you were. Here's a solution that's a little bit cheaper or is the same price, but it works way better. And you can call, Sally and Ron that own the gym up the street, and they'll vouch for it.
Yeah.
Right.
And when you do that, so here's what you can do. You can start off with a small gym, and the small gym might just want to have a schedule, not sign up, just a schedule that they can put on there, hours and stuff like that. Right. And you can start with that, and then talk to them about, okay, let's build a system where people can check in with the app. One piece at a time, right?
Because now it's also hardware.
Yeah,
now
exactly. So you build that, and that might take 6 months, but that's okay because you got it now. Now you have that piece. Then the next piece is, all right, now people want to sign up for classes on the app. And again, you do those little things at a time. But if you try to jump into everything all at once, boom, you were asking for trouble.
It's like there's a local guy here that built one of those online ordering systems for restaurants, right? And it's integrated, and he provides the tablets on site so people can order at their little kiosks and all that stuff. And he's, I want to say, probably 2 years in, and they're still having issues. I still say they're going through like beta testing still, 2 years in, because everything looks good. And then one day a tablet broke, and he was like, I don't have a backup tablet for them, right? So now he had to load a tablet. He had to go buy the tablet.
Yeah.
And then he had to preload it with everything. And then he had to take it to the location, which was, an hour away from where he lives.
Yeah.
So that was like half his day gone just because someone dropped a tablet, right? Like a kid pushed it off the counter or something.
Oh,
that can happen.
That can happen.
Right?
In fact, that will happen. So you got to be prepared for that stuff.
Right. It's the same thing. Like if you are scanning people as they're walking in, someone's going to bump that scanner. Someone's going to bump a sensor. Now, is the gym owner going to try to troubleshoot it themselves? No, they're going to call you and says, hey, your stuff isn't working.
Right.
Right. Do you have tech support? Do you have a replacement scanner? How long will it take you to get the scanner out?
Right.
Are they okay if you don't show up till the next day? Once again, it's the logistical things of running the business.
Yep.
And keeping it running.
So, just trying to think if there's anything else.
But damn good job getting a couple of apps
man,
in
that's
iOS.
fantastic. I love it.
I don't think people realize that that's
an achievement. That's quite an achievement. It really is, especially on your own. It really is an achievement because there's so many things you got to do. Like just signing up for the what do you call it? The
developer
developer account, developer account with the developer kit. That in itself is like, man, they want to know what type of blood type are you? Your firstborn,
right?
I mean, you're signing all your rights. It's crazy. All the stuff
do you put your left leg or your right leg in your pants first, right?
So they want all this information.
If you're a left legger, you could be questionable.
So anyway, hey, Lookie, good luck to you, man. That's awesome. I'm proud of you. Proud of you for getting into the App Store. Good job with having minimal experience. So I think that's it, Gummy.
I think
that's it for today. Kind of talked out. You talked out? I'm not talked out. I don't know.
It feels weird. I'm like, I have dry mouth for the first time ever.
Really?
So, yeah. Which is weird. I think it might be like,
oh, dude,
the weather and the changes.
So my daughter lives in North Carolina. She lives in Raleigh, Durham, North Carolina. And she sent a picture yesterday of Durham, North Carolina from the sky, and it's green, meaning that the haze is green because of all the pollen in the air right now. And I'm feeling it up here too. Like, dude, I can feel the pollen starting to beat me down.
I went outside to grill the other night.
Yeah.
And I came back in and I'm like,
you're covered, right?
I'm like, why is my shirt yellow?
Yeah.
Right? Like, and I was covered and I was standing outside by the grill for 10 minutes.
Yep.
It's crazy.
Yeah. So I have really bad hay fever, not really bad, but I have like hay fever allergies, like sneezing, and it makes me tired, stuff like that.
Did you know that this region of Pennsylvania is one of the worst for that?
Because of course it is, because I live here.
We're sitting in like some kind of weird valley.
Yeah.
So apparently a lot of this dust and pollen all gathers in this region.
Yeah, I've been dealing with it my whole life. Yeah. I know. And I don't move. I don't know why I don't move.
No.
My buddy moved to California and said their kids had horrible allergies here. They moved to California, never had one sniffle.
Same thing. When I go to Colombia, my kids, everybody just clears right up. No sniffles, no nothing. And I'm like, should we consider it? My wife's like, no.
Because that's a benefit. Probably not many more.
Correct.
But so. All right, man. We will meet up next week.
Sounds like a plan.
See ya.